Well, it's great to be here. You know, I'm happy to have the opportunity to talk about our insane country. You know, it's insane. I mean, you know, it's become pathological. I've spent, I guess, the last week reading the New York Police Department dossiers. I mean, they have nothing better to do than, you know, go after young students and do restaurant reviews in New Jersey. You know, they visit. I mean, I'm interested to know which of you is the informant and will write a good review about Fire and Spice. Because, you know, the best part of the Newark review, which Gawker, the website, picked up on, was that they went to every single restaurant. Amin's halal, you know, it's too small. And it seems sinister because there are 3 Africans talking to an Egyptian. Of all goddamn dangerous things. And then they talk to the Egyptian and the Egyptian says, you know, the mosque upstairs is closed. But it's not really a mosque because they believe in the Nation of Islam. Now what's interesting about that is the NYPD doesn't pick up the fact that Islam is not homogeneous. You know, but yet it is, of course, the most dangerous threat to America. One of the crucial things about UNAC is that UNAC has understood that it's not just an anti-war movement. It's not just about war dollars. It's about the toxicity inside America. It's about how anti-Islamic feeling, Islamophobia, has become normal. It's become so normal, my friends, so normal that we have the preferred party of the most powerful ruling class in the world. The preferred party has an actual candidate. This is not like a video candidate, a real man who says things like, the Quran is written in Islamic. All right. Rick Santorum is an idiot, but he's the actual candidate of the preferred party of the American ruling class. It is incredible. But what's really incredible about that is that it makes the Democratic Party seem sane and normal and acceptable, and therefore it's kind of okay that we have drone attacks, and it's okay that we've decided to basically violate the Constitution. And you can strip the rights of people through the National Defense Appropriation Act's little thing which President Obama said that I'm signing with reservations. That means that the second preferred party of the American ruling class has decided to become insane with reservations. That's what we have. We're a crazy place. Now, American power understands it has to exhaust every single mechanism to control the Middle East. Because the Middle East is essential, and whatever people say, this slogan is a stupid slogan, you know, no blood for oil. I've never gone for that slogan. On the other hand, it has a germ of truth to it. The Middle East is more important than very many parts of the world because domination of oil is essential to our carbon insane civilization. So that's a piece of the pie. But so too is protection of Israel. So too is the idea that Iran is the most dangerous threat to American power in the Middle East because Iran wants to revise the equation. That means that America has to make alliances with those great democratic countries in the Middle East, such as Qatar, such as Saudi Arabia, such as the United Arab Emirates. You know, the great democracy of Jordan has to be a crucial ally in the war against the demonic authoritarian Iran. That's the game for American imperialism. It's very, very complicated because our society through the media is taught to believe that American imperialism is benign and is there for good intentions. Obama wants to help people. And my God, thank God it's Obama and not the idiot Bush. Because the idiot Bush makes imperialism look bad. Obama makes it look good because he doesn't really want to kill anybody. We know that. He's a good guy. But he just has to do it because American power needs it. American power is addicted to domination of places like the Middle East. Now, for the left, we have to be cautious. But because American power is insane, that doesn't mean we turn around and defend authoritarian regimes around the world. You know, people made a mistake during the Libyan war, saying on the one hand, join with the NATO invasion, support it on the grounds of human rights. Big mistake. NATO is not a champion of human rights. NATO today will not allow an investigation of what is happening in Libya. It is a criminal organization. One of the principal reasons why this conference is important in Stamford and then the demonstration in Chicago is because we have to demonstrate against a criminal organization that acts outside the law as if it is the main person to interpret what human rights is. Okay? So it was crazy for people on the left to say, we support NATO because what else can we do in Libya? That was not the only alternative. NATO is criminal, cannot. On the other hand, there were people making a grievous error, saying, brother leader has to be defended. Gaddafi is insane. You know, Gaddafi from the 1980s was colluding with the Americans. Gaddafi from the 1980s was bringing in prisoners, extraordinary rendition prisoners, and torturing them in the jails of Benghazi and Tripoli. We don't need to defend him either. That doesn't mean we support the NATO intervention. We have to be, because we're smart, we have to be dialectical. We don't have to be one-sided. We have to be intelligent people. We have to understand what we're doing. In Syria, it's a similar story. In Syria, imperialism is on the move. The Gulf Arabs are already on the ground. They have a game they want to play. We have to fight against them. But the Assad family also has habits of domination and destruction. What is happening in Homs is unconscionable. No progressive regime can bomb civilians. We can never stand up and say Assad has to be defended against imperialism. There is always a third way. There is always a third way. You cannot be a leftist if you join hands with the destruction of the livelihood of ordinary people. That is not the left I want to belong to. Our leftism is scrupulous against imperialism and is certainly not going to defend dictatorial regimes. There is always another way. If there is not another way, then I'm going to go and become a Buddhist sannyasi. Because it's not worth it. It's not worth defending brutal local subcontractors of imperialism on the one side. After all, Bashar al-Assad and his father Hafiz al-Assad, what did they do? Firstly, in the 50s, they destroyed the Syrian Communist Party. They tethered it. They made it part of the Ba'ath Alliance. What else did they do? In 1975, when they invaded Lebanon, what did they do? They went after the Palestinian left. You know, no section of the Palestinian left has seen Syria as a progressive force. Syria is the border guard for Israel. Israel has today no other safe borders. The Egyptian border is tense. The border with Lebanon has been tense for decades. The Palestinian border, that is the occupation, is tense. Syria has been a very stable border for Israel. Bashar al-Assad can say whatever the hell he wants, but in practice he is colluded with Israeli occupation of Palestinian lands. Nobody on the Palestinian left thinks of Bashar al-Assad as a big-time defender of progressive values. It is a huge error to take a binary position against imperialism or for imperialism, against Assad or for Assad. There is always another way. Okay, what is the other way in Syria? I don't have time to tell you this because I have 10 minutes. But I'll tell you to go. I wrote a piece which came today in the online magazine called Jadaliya. I don't know how many of you read Jadaliya. JADALIYYA.org. Jadaliya is a superb periodical. It has a very good Syria page. I have a long piece in there where essentially it's about the left and the people. How the left has to have an attitude toward the people. We can never stand against the people. We have to be very clear about what the people want, what are the interests in place. But when people are being brutalized, if we are not there with the people, we have counted ourselves on the wrong side of history. Okay? So that is how we need to move. Anti-imperialism for sure, but at the same time very careful not to align ourselves cynically with powers that on the short run look like allies from a distance, but are actually subcontractors of imperialism.